Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I have the project that I'll design the tulips for. So I wanted tulips that would fold flat because the envelope card box folds flat. So I wanted my lovely little tulips to fold flat. Now if you missed the demonstration on the tulips, then I will put a link in the description for you so it's easy for you to find. I did wire mine. They are designed to fold flat. There is another way that you can do them where you can put them back to back. I'll just grab two more. So you don't need to make the leaves twice, but if you just make two more petals on the top, and you can do the same with the front on the back that you did on the front on the back. So you have, obviously you do the same colours, you'd have a dimensional tulip. So you know, that'd be really cool in the little faceted pot that I made recently. So what I'll do is I'll put a link for that one as well in the description so you can find all the links there. So this is an envelope card box that folds flat, like I say. Now the really cool thing about it is 12 by 12 inch paper. Now I say paper because it's single-sided and it fits in a C5 envelope. So this is your A4 cardstock. If you've got a leaf sticking out, you can fold it the other way. You probably saw there, if I do it that way it doesn't fit, if I do it that way it does fit. But when you're putting your tulips in, etc., you can do that, and these will move over as well. I know that one got squashed, but you can move them over. I did wire mine so I can move mine around, and that's all in the tulip description. So I'm going to get started and show you how to do this. Now if you've got cardstock that's double-sided, this is single-sided paper and it is paper. Now if you've got cardstock that's double-sided, then by all means you can use that, it's not a problem. So just turn it over, and all you're going to do is fold point to point. Now if it's double-sided cardstock, I'd cut across the middle and make two cards, because when you start folding it, it's all going to be too thick. So all you need to do is line up the point there and then hold it tight. Make sure that the sides are lined up. I always like to check a little bit down the side. Hold it really tight and then run two fingers down the center so that you get that pinch point there, and then go out to the sides. Each one, I'm going to move it and hopefully it won't move. So you can see there, and you've got a really good diamond shape. Turn it over and you can see it's fine on the other side. If you've got any bits of white showing either side, then you can adjust it. Now all you need to do on one half only is take a glue stick, because it is paper, and the construction glues that you can get, like Kalar and the Hunky Dory one, they're actually okay for paper. They don't warp it. But a glue stick most people have, or you know, children, grandchildren, etc. have them, and they're nice and inexpensive to get hold of. So you'd obviously spend a bit of time, make sure the glue's everywhere, and then fold it all down. And you can give it a little burnish with your flat side of your scoring tool, like that. Make sure it's all nice and done. So you've got a two-sided piece of card now. Then that's a little bit like the flower's a little bit wonky, so we'll have that one on the back. And something to point out as well, just grab the card. On the back you've got a really nice big space to put a nice insert, you know, where you can write on there, or alternatively you can put a little tag on the front, Mother's Day, things like that. So just thought I'd point that out. Now all you need to do is get your scoreboard, or if you haven't got a scoreboard, then just use a ruler, make the marks at 5 and 6, and then score down. So we're going to just pop that on and do 5 and 6, and then we're going to have to flip it over and do 5 and 6. Okay, 5 and 6, and then one final score. Just put the long side, it was up there, now turn it round, and at 5 inches we're just going to score between those two score lines we just made, and it's only a marking point for cutting. So we're going to cut that little triangle piece out. I'm just going to remove that. I'll need it again in a minute, but I'm just going to get it out of the way. And then all you need to do is where you've got those score lines, we're just going to cut out this little triangle shape here, each side. Just going to remove that, and it gives it more of an envelope shape. So do that, and you can see my glue didn't even stick those bits, so I put it on so rough. So that's the back. So we want this side to be the front because we've got a nicer floral arrangement on there. You are going to cover them up with flowers, and obviously you probably wouldn't use this type of paper for the tulips. Now when you do your folds, when you're folding in each of them, make sure the bottom isn't skew width. Make sure you're lining it up to the bottom, and if this is out a little bit, when you burnish it, it will readjust it. Pull it back and make sure again that they're on, because it's more important that the base is flat and straight, so that when the recipient puts the card on the mantelpiece or wherever they're going to pop it, it will not fall over. We don't want that. So there we go. Now what you'll notice, on not always, but sometimes what you'll get is the little pointy bit is a little bit longer, and the best way to find out is push one side down, so you've got it all folded in, push one side down and pull over the other. Can you see that little bit of edge there? If you're going to fold it that way or that way, I'm going this way, there's more flowers. So if you've got a little bit, and if your card's going to close a different way, fold it that way, because sometimes it doesn't need as much chopped off. So decide which way you're going to fold your card, and then turn over, and where you see the little piece left over, just take that piece off. Then you'll notice that this is the area that we want to glue. We don't want to go outside any of that, so you could put a little pencil line. I'm going to do an imaginary in my headline and just put some glue, and I'd probably use tape for this to make sure it stays there on there. Okay, and then just fold it flat, so you've got one bit sticking out, so it was like that. Make it go like that, and then pop that piece on there, and then fold it the other way as well. Just make sure everything's okay. So there might have been, yeah, the little hangover on that side as well. I'm just going to go in. You probably won't see me do this. I'm just going to go in and snip that little tiny pointy piece that was hanging over. To pull it back. I'm not going to be able to show you, but it's exactly what I did with the other side. So you can see the back's really pretty to put an in, you know, just like a square piece of paper with your message on. You can print it on your printer and then stick it on. So that is your envelope. Then we're going to just put a band inside. So we've got 3 layers to glue our tulips to. So this is 6 inches, slightly under. Because of score lines, things change a little bit, so it's always best to go a little bit under. You can see it's only a smidge, 1/16 of an inch, I think that smidge is called officially. And then 1/2 inch each side. So I'm going to spin it where it's not a true 1/2 inch, not a true 6-inch piece of card. We've just got a 1/2 inch score each side of our 6x2 inch strip of card. Just going to fold it down each side, and I am going to use wet glue for this. I probably should use tape. I've got some construction glue here if it comes out, just because everything else I haven't got out. And we want this to stay. We don't want this to be moving around. We really don't want any glue there, so I'm just going to smear that down because I've put an awful lot on. Want it to dry, and then you wipe your hand because you've made a right old mess of it. And then all we're going to do is just pop that piece in. So we're just going to fold these down like that. They're both going the same way. You can have one going one going the other. It's not really that important. I'm just going to, it's going to be really hard to show you. Try and see if I can do it this way. Just going to slide that in to there. Just going to slide it in and then push it down so that it's at the bottom. Make sure it's level. So by that I mean you can go in a bit further. You don't want it to be overhanging in the base. You can push it up into the card a little bit more. It's better than having it hanging out, because again it'll stop the folds. Then do your reinforcing again. So do this both ways, and then those score lines will be in the right place. Like you can see, even though I cut that down a little smidge, it could have done with a little bit more of a smidge because it's bowing. It'd be okay, it'd still give dimension, but just check it, not like I did. But it's not too bad, as you can see. But that, just when you fold it flat, you've got 3 layers. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you just quickly what you need to do. So you'll put your tulip layer down. So in this back space here, let's see if I can show you. So in this back sheet, so if you're holding on to this, if I move that out of the way, the first 3 tulips you want to stick down on the back panel, and you don't have to do very much, just a little bit on the back and a little bit on the stem, just some wet glue, and just pop one there, one there, one there. Then the next layer is pretty much the same shape, but you're going to be putting it onto this band. So where the last one, if I show you coming up, The last ones went flat into the back like this. This next layer is going to go into here, and again you're just going to glue, and if you have to push them down, that's fine. You can cut off the excess that's sticking out at the end. And then the final one, you'll put glue on the front of it and put it onto the front of the envelope like so. So you're going to actually glue it to this front section and push it down. So that's how you put them all in. So it's really simple to do. So you're going to do 1, 2, 3, then 3 on the band, 1, 2, 3, and then 1 at the front, glue on the front. And then you will end up with your lovely tulip envelope card that folds flat and fits in a C5 envelope. So I hope you've enjoyed it, and yeah, I look forward to seeing you again soon. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.